Hi, I'm Jenna. This is going to be a very just not well thought out video, but I just wanted to kind of address the issue right now with the new introduction of the curriculum and how parents, we need to take our time and go through what's being introduced, and we have this time to give our opinions. And when I was going over it and I was seeing for my children, because that's what I do as a parent, as we're all busy, right? I look at what's going to impact my children. And I was thinking about this. I was thinking about, what about people that don't even have children? We look at the curriculum as something that's impacting us, but it's impacting everyone around us. And to look at, one of the things is with using newspapers as an education tool. I don't see any newspapers being thrown around the neighborhood anymore. I do know that they're available. Most people use online and things like that. But to me, it's very, I don't understand what part of the newspaper, which newspapers are going to be used. So it's a little concerning. But I was thinking about people that don't have children and don't even get the option to choose what we're teaching in our schools. So I was thinking about it. It's like, we talk to our friends all the time about social events and what's going on, or we go out and when we check the mail, I have to walk to the mailbox and I talk to my neighbors about the weather and, just make small talk. I would challenge people that even don't have children to ask your friends with children, or ask people, your neighbors and stuff with children, what they're voting on, and if they're even paying attention to that. Because that's one thing I do notice as someone that's active and a site member of our school district, and being aware of the funding. And a lot of people don't understand how underfunded the school districts are. And then the funds that we do get, they're very regulated on how it can be spent. And it has to be voted on and agreed upon. But the educators, they do not have the say that people think they do and how the money is being spent. And I know that people get frustrated with that, but it is the parents, most of all, or the voters also, that have the say in what's happening. And when we think about the world events and things that are happening and even in our local news, it starts with education. To me, it starts with education. I think that's the root. And whenever we have a problem, we always like to fix the problem. We'll have more prisons. We'll have, gun control. We will do this. We'll do that. We always, in hindsight, look at what we could have done. And when it really boils down to it, it really starts with values, and it starts with, what are we teaching our children in schools? Nowadays, parents are usually very busy, and so they're relying a lot on what's being taught in their schools. And I don't believe they're taking as active as a role. And this is an opinion, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but I do know, just from my experience, how busy I am, and I have to split the responsibilities with my husband. It is a lot of work to stay up on what's going on in the school and keeping up with your jobs and your children and everything else that we have. It's called life, right? And now with social media and with everything, I'll go to check my email and think it's going to be 15 minutes, and all of a sudden a pop-up comes up, and 2 hours later, it's like, it's so easy to get distracted that we have to think about that when we think about our future, and we think about our children's future, is what are we laying down for the core values? So I just challenge people right now. We have till, I believe, December 13th. Please, parents, don't skip over the emails. Don't skip over the text messages. Look at what's being taught in the curriculum. Don't just look at your kid's grade level. Look at the grade level, all the grade levels. Question things that and I'm not saying it's a negative. You can definitely give positive feedback too. There's a lot of great things, or there's misunderstandings. Like I know one of the things that I would like more clarification on is when we are using newspaper as one of the forms to educate. I want to know which newspaper and what part of it they're using, because to me that's just not enough information. When we have the textbooks, that's pretty easy to go through the books if you have the time. Most people don't. I know that I'll tell on myself. I look at my children's grade levels, and I go through what's going to be taught to them, and I go through the books that they're going to be shown, and I will tell you that a lot of times they're fine, but I don't think that we necessarily stick to the curriculums like we should. I do know that in the schools now, they are very understaffed, but they're not understaffed that they can even hire. They're understaffed because they don't have money to hire. I don't know if people know this, but the teachers aren't making. I know educators that are working in schools that have been there for 20 years and are making $50,000 a year educating, and they are teaching our future. They're teaching the people that are impacting us. So when you're getting upset about all the things that are going on in the world, instead of thinking about how to punish or what are the results of the behaviors that have already happened, let's get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem are the children that we're bringing up. What are we teaching them? What is right now is they have so much that they are coming at them with social media, with their parents, with so much. I will tell you that sometimes my kids will say things, good, bad, or indifferent, it doesn't matter. I'll be like, where did they ever learn that? Well, who taught them that? It'll shock me. And I feel I'm very active. My whole life is they're my children. And other than that, my career is about California, the people that live here. I am a public notary in California. I do taxes, and I sell all insurances. And our insurance, hey, great job. We've got 3 carriers coming back. So we are working on that. But that's my focus. My focus is here in California and my children. My social life is nil. It's like, but that's not important to me. What's important to me is our future, and what's important to me is my children's future. So I just would say, challenge the parents. If you're not a parent, challenge your friends that do have children and ask them what's being taught, because it does impact you. Just because you don't have children, it impacts your future. It impacts everything that is in our society, that what we're teaching our children. And I know with a lot of hot topics, what is going on in sex ed? That's important. I would think you'd want to know what our future is going to be, how we're looking at that. Are we looking at, unisex bathrooms at the schools, or where are we spending our money? Is that the best place to spend it? I'm not saying yes, no, or indifferent. And I know that's a hot topic. I probably shouldn't have used that as an example. But I'm just throwing out some topics. There's a ton of topics, right? We are seeing schools. I'm here in Sacramento. We have seen some schools be remodeled. Or rebuilt. Mira Loma, Arcade, Arden, at a lot of them. So the monies have been spent on buildings, and this regulated and they needed to be updated. Believe me, a lot of those schools were 50 plus years old, and they need to be safe for our children. But with that, where's the money going? And then as a tax preparer and as a tax strategist, I also would like to challenge you, when you're thinking of how to lower your tax liability and donate to, a charitable cause, donate to your schools. Go to your schools. Give to your schools. Not only do they not have the funds they need, but the funds they do have, because a lot of them do have funds, lots of, like $100,000, $200,000 in their accounts that they could use, but it's regulated. They can only use it for certain things. And so there's still so many things that they can't do. And that's what's so frustrating. So help the schools out. And doing fundraisers, yes, that's great. And, I kind of like them because it brings the community together. But at the same time, it doesn't bring enough in to really make an impact. So if you're truly wanting to see change, it's not about looking at the news and seeing what's already happened and giving your opinion and starting, wars over it. It's like, we have freedom of speech. We have freedom of opinion, and that's fine. Don't hate over someone's opinion. People are entitled to their opinion, and let them have it. Don't let that destroy your day. Don't let that choose the people that are around you. Make sure you're looking at what the root of the problem is. And the root of the problem begins with education and what's being taught in our schools, because that is our future. That's what's coming out and going into the world. And that's where we need to really focus, because there aren't enough people that are active in the schools, they're active in the curriculums, and are supporting. These teachers are teaching so many students. Their classrooms are overcrowded. It is so difficult. Be a part of change. And if I could get one person to listen, especially parents, I know, because I'm on site council, that we have so many people that don't respond to when we put out surveys. There's so many people that don't come to PTA or PTO meetings. There's so many people that are not taking an active role. And I get it, because you're busy. You have to work and pay the bills, and you have things going on in your lives. I understand that. It's hard. It is hard, hard, hard. So ask for community help. Ask for people that don't have kids to still be involved. You can still be involved. And that's what's really important. But take the time, at least have the conversation, at least bring it up. Don't have meaningless conversations on the way to your mailbox about the weather's changed and it's fall and what are you gonna, oh, your decorations look nice. Let's have meaningful conversations that are going to make a difference. Ask what's on the curriculum, because at least there you have an accountability, and at least there, even if someone didn't realize that, oh, it's that time of year to go and look at what's being introduced for curriculum and what books, what textbooks, and what they're going to be using in each grade level, what novels they're going to be using, what they're introducing, these new art classes, all these things you have in your inbox now. You can make part of the difference. And it's really important. We talk about voting. This is just as important, if not more important, in my opinion. But that's my tangent today, and I'm busy. I'm trying to work, and so you can see I'm tired, but I just wanted to use the format of social media because that seems to be where people pay attention. And if I can get anybody to pay attention to what's happening with our children, that's where it starts. You can complain about what's already going on in the government, complain about all these things, but who is the president of tomorrow? It's these children. So if you really want to make an impact, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, it won't impact me. It will impact generations and generations thereafter. So if you care about children or you care about anybody's future, we are using paper straws now, right, to save our planet. Let's save our planet in other ways too. Doesn't matter if the planet's here if we're all at war and disbelieve and nobody is educated properly. So that's going to be my thing for today. And everybody have a great day, and be nice to each other. Say hi to people. Look up and have a conversation. There's someone standing in front of you.